back again. Yes, so where did we leave off before my phone ran out of space? Yes, so the Book of Mormon is, well, have you read the Book of Mormon? If you haven't, have a read of it. It's a great book to read. Let me show you a copy. This is kind of a standard one that the missionaries will give you for free. Anyway, I'll just read a little bit of the front of it. So it says, it's an abridgment of the record of the people of Nephi, and also of the Lamanites, written to the Lamanites who are a remnant of the house of Israel, and also to Jew and Gentile, written by way of commandment, and also by the spirit of prophecy and of revelation, written and sealed up and hid up unto the Lord, that they might not be destroyed, to come forth by the gift and power of God, unto the interpretation thereof, sealed by the hand of Moroni, and hid up unto the Lord, to come forth in the due time by way of the Gentile, the interpretation thereof by the gift of God. It goes on to say that it's another testament of Jesus Christ. But so you have a family that are in Jerusalem, and the father has revelation that Jerusalem is going to be destroyed, and the father's name was Lehi, and so he followed his revelation, and it was to leave. So anyway, it goes on to say later on in the book, in Revelation, that the reason why Heavenly Father wanted them to go was to leave behind the ways that were being lived, of the culture wasn't really matching what God wanted the people to be living like. So Lehi was going to teach the right way according to Heavenly Father, which was one wife. And so if you want to know if polygamy is true or not, you will soon find out that there are many references in the New Testament and the Book of Mormon about the unhappiness and the sadness caused to the women and to Heavenly Father, that who watches and sees the sadness and is disappointed. So back to Joseph Smith and the subject of polygamy, and back to Brigham Young with the subject of polygamy. Now, what I find really sad in the church is people come and join the church and they think it's great and they love it, and then they find out about polygamy, which doesn't exist now. It's gone with the dinosaurs. What I find sad is that why should we have a beautiful church that, let's say you've washed your hair and your hair feels great, but then you've got one head lice in it. I mean, is that going to make you feel great? I know that's a bit disgusting, isn't it? But if you try to hide one thing that isn't good and true, and you try to put it with a bunch of people that are lovely, I mean, they're not going to want to hang around. So this video is for myself as well, to try to explain how it makes you feel. In my heart, I am just disappointed that a lie has been covered over and it's just trying to be explained away, and it's just wrong. Heavenly Father is about truth, honesty. Well, there are times that people have been asked to do things that are a little bit different, like Abraham had to pretend that his wife was his sister so that he didn't get killed. But there are exceptions. But I'm just disappointed and heavy-hearted that you've got this great church which is hiding so much and blaming, and you know, there's too much evidence now. I've gone through it all, read it all. Joseph Smith, clean hands, innocent. Prayed about it, asked Heavenly Father. Just Emma was his wife. All the rest came by other members of the church that wanted to scapegoat, to make it seem that he was already part of the church so they could do their thing. So Brigham Young, there's no two ways about it. Not good. Not good. Brigham Young, not good. If you read his writings, how he treated people, the words he spoke, disappointing. Now, people say, oh, it's the Wild West. It was, back in the day where everything was, they lived rough. They were rough. They were, etc., etc. But let me do a comparison. You have Brigham Young, and then you have Joseph Smith's son, Joseph Smith III. You put them side by side. Joseph Smith III, absolute beautiful personality. I would have loved to have had him as my prophet. Instead, the church had Brigham Young, and in the times of Brigham Young, there was a lot of fear and there was a lot of false doctrine brought into the church. Now, Joseph Smith was not for slavery. Brigham Young was. Joseph Smith was not racist. Brigham Young was. Joseph Smith was not a polygamist. Brigham Young was. So, how did the church get through? Well, there was only a few troublemakers in the church. If you say, like I said about the washed hair with one head lice, yeah? Look how many hairs I've got on my head. Imagine if that's how many good there were and there was a few bad. But those bad were in the leadership. Eek. I think of it like Harry Potter and Hogwarts, and you've got the good and bad all just living together, as a school kind of thing. So you've got the good that is good because they're good, and you've got the bad that's bad, and the bad don't stop the good being good, does it? It doesn't stop. So there are still people that are blessed, and so I'm going to share with you the article so that you can figure it out for yourself. But so pretty much eye-opening, but I am so relieved because I was Camp Joseph Smith, and I was so relieved to actually to pray and to get these answers, because I never prayed about polygamy before. So I prayed in 2012, and I prayed about Brigham Young in 2012 as well. And so I don't know if any of you know, but that have their Doctrine and Covenants, but Section 132 wasn't there until 1876, and there was a Doctrine and Covenants that was taken out before that was in there, and I think it was numbered 101, and that 101 was a doctrine that said one wife, one one husband, one wife, and that got taken out. So what had happened is Brigham Young had been doing missionary work, and he'd come across a sect that had polygamy in it, and while he was doing missionary work, and he kind of just ended up introducing it into the church. And there was some other, it's just corruption, it's just a form of greed, isn't it? And even if you go through the Bible, you would discover that it's quite about men, and they've kind of men that can't control men, they control women. So there's a lot going on, Anyway, I'm a bit slow sharing this at the moment because I'm trying to think of how to put it across. But back onto the next video, huh?